going to do a very short teaching on recollection, mindfulness, and vigilance. These are three very, very important principles in Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching. They are the engine of meditation, and they're like the bedrock of how we practice in daily life. Recollection means you recall or remember. And specifically, what is being remembered here is Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching. You recall what to adopt and what to abandon. You recall Buddhist principles like I am present moment thinking only, all result Buddhas reside in my heart, etc. If we don't recall that, then there's no way to practice. Why? Because we forgot. The second is mindfulness. Mindfulness means that we are aware of our body and mind in the present moment. We know what we are thinking. We know what we're doing. And with mindfulness, we take recollection, which relates to the past. We recall what we learned in the past, and we connect that to the present. Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And am I not doing what I'm supposed to not be doing, according to Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings as I remember them? And with mindfulness, we will also be correcting our body, speech, and mind if we find that the conduct of our body, speech, and mind falls outside of the guidelines of Buddhist teaching. Then the third is vigilance. And vigilance is about keeping our vows. It's about maintaining proper conduct. And it also relates to the future, which means we're strategizing and planning in a way that is going to make sure that we're able to continue holding our vows, and our recollection, mindfulness, and vigilance won't be interrupted. There's an example of how to apply these in daily life using driving. And I think that's a very good way to think about it, to conceptualize it. In order to drive properly, we need recollection, mindfulness, and vigilance. How? Well, recollection is recalling the rules of the road. We know that we're supposed to be driving on the right side of the yellow line, if we're in America, for example, and many other rules. What does a red light mean? What does a yellow light mean? What does a green light mean? So we recall the rules of the road. That is essential in order to drive correctly. Mindfulness means we know where we are and we know where our car is. We know what lane we're in. We know who arrived first at the stop sign. This is mindfulness. Obviously, without mindfulness, we're not going to get very far. Then vigilance. A vigilant driver will take a long view of the road. You don't just focus on where you are right now, but you focus on what's coming up. You see in the city, you see like a couple traffic lights ahead. Or if you're driving on the highway, you try to see as far ahead as possible. That way, you don't get yourself into trouble. If there's a bunch of backed up traffic over here, you can change lanes in time and go around that. Even if you have recollection and mindfulness, if you don't have vigilance, then you can still get into trouble. You can still get into collisions because, for example, you're just not looking far enough down the road, and you have to brake very suddenly. You become a late braker because you didn't look far enough ahead. You don't see that traffic has stopped until you're very close to it. This is how we understand recollection, mindfulness, and vigilance in terms of driving. And hopefully that's helpful in terms of how to apply it in everyday life. So by recalling Buddha's teachings, by being mindful of what our body and mind are engaged in, and applying Buddha's teachings to that, and then also by looking ahead a little bit and having some strategy, keeping our vows. In this way, we can successfully practice the Buddha path in everyday life.